세계 속의 대한민국, 우리나라의 아름답고 감동적인 이야기를 전합니다. 휴면톡톡입니다. 한 나라의 국기에 다른 국가의 국기가 들어가 있는 나라들이 있습니다. 바로 영국령 국가들인데요. 영국령 국가들의 국기에는 영국의 국기인 유니언잭이 새겨져 있습니다. 2016년 뉴질랜드는 유니언잭이 식민시대를 상기시킨다는 이유로 국기를 교체하려는 시도가 있었습니다. 뉴질랜드 정부는 국기 교체 분위기를 이끌며 국민투표 2차례 등 16개월에 걸친 시간과 약 200억 원의 세금을 투입했으나 국민의 마음을 사로잡는 데 실패했습니다. 이런 뉴질랜드는 다시 한번 국기 변경에 대해서 관심을 갖고 있는데요. 최근 뉴질랜드 방송에서는 여러 나라 국기를 살펴보는 다큐멘터리를 제작해 방영했습니다. 해당 방송에는 한국의 태극기도 소개되었는데요. 한국의 태극기 문양에 대해 디자인적으로 독창적이고 그 의미 또한 깊다며 부러움을 남겼습니다. 해당 방송의 태극기 관련 코멘트를 정리해서 전달해드립니다. 구독과 좋아요, 알림 설정은 영상 제작에 큰 힘이 됩니다.
Taejokji was first used by interpreter Lee Eung-jun at the signing ceremony of the Treaty of Amity and Commerce between the two countries in 1882. Originally, Joseon did not have the concept of a national flag as a national symbol like other East Asian countries. After signing the Gangwon Island Treaty, the issue of establishing a national flag was discussed, but the design was not decided on. Then, on May 14, 1882, U.S. envoy Robert Shufelt requested the designation of a national flag to be used at the signing ceremony ahead of the signing of the Treaty of Amity and Commerce between the two countries on May 22. Accordingly, Kim Hong-jip of Tonggi Muaman had interpreter Lee Eung-jun draw the national flag. This is the first example of its use, commonly known as Lee Eung-jun's Taejokji. In fact, the debate over who invented Taejokji first is a long-standing debate dating back to the 1880s. According to Tokyo Current Affairs No. 179 dated October 2, 1882, Ma Jeon-chung, who was dispatched to Joseon by Lee Hongjiang at the time and helped conclude the Treaty of Amity and Commerce between the two countries, proposed a national flag that imitated that national flag of the Qing dynasty. The Qing dynasty modified the triangular yellow dragon flag, which was used as the Qing imperial flag at the time, and suggested to Joseon show the appearance of a vassal state. This was not a suggestion, but actually an order. In this process, we took care of even the smallest details, such as changing the yellow background to a white background, changing the blue dragon to a red dragon, and adding blue clouds to create a white-blue cloud, and red dragon flag. In the 5 oriental colors, yellow represents the center and blue represents the east. In addition, Cheonggyeong is the god who presides over the east, so the Qing dynasty's use of the Hwangryonggi and the Joseon dynasty's use of the Cheonggyeonggi meant showing courtesy to subjects on the border. Additionally, Joseon's dragons were made to have a lower formality and have one fewer claw. However, King Gojong indignantly rejected this unilateral order from the Qing dynasty and issued an order to designate Taejokji as the national flag. Detailed records of King Gojong's direct involvement in the production of Taejokji can also be found through Park Young-hyo's diary. King Gojong proposed a color arrangement of red to symbolize the monarch, blue to symbolize the subjects, and white to symbolize the people. However, Kim Hong-jip pointed out that the design was similar to the Japanese flag and suggested adding the 8 trigrams around it, symbolizing the 8 provinces of Joseon. Here, the British captain suggested that it would be too difficult and complicated to draw if there were 8 hexagrams, so why not simplify it to 4 hexagrams, and the design was finally finalized. Of course, Gojong did not create a design that did not exist based on his personal insight. Taejuk itself is an old symbol that was first drawn on the Korean peninsula during the Baekje period in the 6th century. The fish flag, which was a symbol of the Joseon royal family, was also created based on basic elements derived from Taejokdo. Additionally, the Joseon military's Jidoji, which had been used since before the Japanese invasions of Korea, has the same shape as the Korean flag, except for the graffiti surrounding the border. The Zuidokji was introduced from the Ming dynasty and was not a design independently created in Joseon, but in Joseon, the country of Neo-Confucianism. Taejuk surrounded by the 8 trigrams would have been an easily conceived shape. When the last Korean Empire, the Korean Empire, fell in August 1910, the use of Taejokji, the national flag of the Korean Empire, was banned. During the Japanese colonial period, Taejokji soon became a symbol of the independence movement and was flown nationwide during the March 1 movement in 1919. The Japanese Empire, which forcibly annexed Korea, banned the production and possession of Taejokji, seeing it as a symbol of Bullyeongseon. At that time, the Taejokji had no fixed concept other than the basic concept of the swirling central Taejuk and the diagonal bagua, so the designs of the Taejokji that were flown during the March 1 movement were all different. In the March 1 movement, which became the starting point of the birth of the Republic of Korea, all participants, including citizens gathered at Tapgol Park, waved the Taejokji as a common symbol of the nation. The Provisional Government of the Republic of Korea that was established later also adopted Taejokji as its national flag, and when liberation from Japanese colonial rule was achieved on August 15, people expressed their gratitude by holding up the Taejokji. As for where the Taejokji came from, it was made by painting over the Japanese flag, which had been reduced to kindling, like the Taejokji of Munkbak Chowol above. Of course, it was difficult to find blue paint, so I roughly painted it with ink and made the red and black Korean flag fly. Depending on the region, the Taejokji with the 8 trigrams or the Taejokji with no trigrams was drawn. Even in one neighborhood, no one knew the exact shape of Taejokji, so there were cases where both the Bagua Taejokji and the 4 trigrams Taejokji were drawn. In fact, because the Japanese colonial rule took place without the government of the Korean Empire legally confirming the form of the Taejokji, the discussion about the accuracy of the Taejokji symbol at the time of liberation was meaningless. On July 1, 1948, the Constitutional Assembly adopted Taejokji as the national flag of the Republic of Korea. The Taejokji itself symbolizes the historical legitimacy and identity of the Korean people, spanning the Joseon dynasty, the Korean Empire, the Provisional Government, and the Republic of Korea. There is no room for disagreement that North Korea under Kim Il-sung also used the Taejokji as a symbol for a considerable period of time immediately after liberation, and that the Taejokji had legitimacy representing the entire Korean peninsula. In this respect, even assuming the birth of a unified Korea led by the Republic of Korea in the future, there is an overwhelming possibility that it will be adopted as the national flag, and of course it will become the Taejokji. There is a possibility that national symbols such as the national anthem or emblem may be reborn after unification, but the national flag is very likely to remain the Taejokji. During the April 19 Revolution in 1960 and the May 18 democratization movement in 1980, the bodies of pro-democracy martyrs who died in violent suppression were covered with Taejokji, and during the June uprising in 1987, citizens also raised the Taejokji. The white background of the Taejokji symbolizes the brightness, purity, and traditional peace-loving nature of the Korean people. The Taejuk symbol in the middle expresses the harmony of yin and yang and embodies the truth of Mother Nature, but historically, it also contains the meaning that the unity of the people, the king, and subjects creates a strong nation. The 4 trigrams in the 4 corners specifically represent the change and development of yin and yang. Taejokji, with this meaning, had the power to unite people at every important historical inflection point in Korea. Taegyeokgi has been loved throughout Korean history as a tool for harmony, change, and balance. Many people sacrificed their lives in front of the Taegyeokgi to protect the precious values of balance, harmony, and change in the country. The history of a country goes through times of prosperity and regression, division and harmony. In this process of national change, the flag containing the values of a country determines what must be maintained even as history progresses and determines the country's identity. In this sense, Taegyeokgi deserves to be called the most beautiful national flag in the world, not only for its aesthetic beauty, but also for its history as well as its meaning.
국기가 이렇게 많은 의미를 가지고 있을 수 있다는 데서 놀랍고, 그들의 역사가 태극기가 담긴 가치를 증명해냈다는 것이 더 놀랍다. 캐나다의 국기에는 단풍잎이 새겨져 있는데 그것은 단순히 캐나다에 단풍이 많기 때문이다. 깊이 있는 상징성을 담은 태극기 놀랍다. 태극기 모양 그대로 나라가 분열되어 있는 상태가 되었다는 점이 매우 슬프다. 만약 통일되어 태극기가 통일 한국의 국기로 쓰인다면 이런 슬픔은 극복의 역사로 승화될 것이다. 평창 동계올림픽 개막식에 나온 태극 무늬를 보고 펩시콜라가 스폰서인 줄로만 알고 있었던 나의 무지가 부끄럽다. 백성 위에 왕과 신하가 있고 두 힘의 조합이 나라를 튼튼하게 한다는 생각이 담긴 국기는 내가 알기론 태극기 말고는 없다. 오랜 과거부터 가지고 있었던 정확한 국가론이다.
태극기는 우주와 더불어 끝없이 창조와 번영을 추구하는 우리 민족의 이상을 담고 있습니다. 선인들은 이것을 이루기 위해서 수많은 불의와 싸워 현재 나라를 만들어내었습니다. 우리에게도 동일한 책임이 있다는 것을 상기시켜준 영상이었습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 휴면톡톡이었습니다.